believe is that all your experiences, all your studies, whatever you did and underwent, so now you have zeroed into a one particular field. I think you are specializing in Kundalini Yoga. There are various types of yoga like Hatha Yoga and Bikram Yoga and Karmi Yoga and so many yogas. What is Kundalini Yoga? I was wondering if you can just throw some light for our viewers that this is a particular type of yoga and what benefits do one get? And is it for only one particular age group like you and me, or is it for everybody? So if you can just tell our viewers that.
Sure. So I have developed a method called the KundaliniPlus method. And even though Kundalini Yoga starts with a K, my method starts with a Q because my name is Avril Quadris.
Great.
So I took a spin-off on, because K can also sound like Q. So I made it Kundalini Yoga, QUANDLINI plus method. Now the plus is why, because I've combined Kundalini Yoga, which is my area of expertise in yoga. Like you said, there are different forms of yoga. There is Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. But the highest form of yoga, which encompasses all the four vehicles of yoga, is Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga.
Okay. So Karma Yoga, I'm so sorry. It's Raja Yoga, sorry.
Okay.
So Raja Yoga combines all these different forms of yoga. Of course, the Yoga Sutras were there, for thousands of years, even before Patanjali organized them. So sage Patanjali organized yoga because it was so confusing for people. So he organized them into Yoga Sutras. So sutra means a thread. So he organized them into Yoga Sutras. And yoga is the union. Yoga means it's a yoke, it's a union. So it's the union between the self, which is a person, and between the divine. So yoga means when the self and the divine come together. Okay. Atma, Paramatma. So it comes together, right? Now, Kundalini Yoga, what we do in Kundalini Yoga was first expounded through the Upanishads. Thousands of years, we're talking about BC, before Christ, right? So Kundalini Yoga was propounded as a mind, body, spirit method. Because in Kundalini Yoga, we deal with the body systems.
Okay.
So we deal with, we have 10 bodies.
Right.
Just to give you a flavor, just very basic, broadly, we have 10 bodies. Okay. We have the physical body, we have 3 mental bodies, and the rest of them, the other 6 are energy bodies. Okay. Now, only when the physical, mental, and energy bodies are aligned, a person is healthy, abundant, vivacious, he comes together. So you could say like somebody like His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, or you could say like, somebody like Lord Krishna, or you could say like somebody like, Lord Shiva. These were divine beings who were balanced in all 10 of their bodies. Right. And that's why they were able to, attain certain siddhis, certain attainments. So what we do in Kundalini Yoga is we work with the brain, we work with the energy system of the body, we work with the thoughts of the mind, we work with the emotions of the body, we work with the energy, which is called Kundalini Shakti. So whether you call it prana, whether you call it yin, whether you call it whatever, chi, Kundalini energy is basically the energy that we are all born with. When that energy dies, that means we are either 6 feet under or we are, cremated.
Okay, so like you are doing such a wonderful thing. I was wondering, like my inspiration was like Swami Vivekananda. Like who is your inspiration? Like whom do you feel that, okay, I relate to that person and who is giving me inspiration and giving me motivation? Like any particular individual whom you feel is your inspiration?
There are so many, doctor.
In particular, like you said, Buddhism. So do you have
Buddhism.
any?
For me, Buddhism is not a religion.
So
for me,
any particular cult leader or anybody, maybe whom you feel that, okay, this is the person, maybe Dalai Lama, did you say? So do you think you are sort of following or getting inspiration from Dalai Lama?
I have inspiration from many, many people, but I would say that Dalai Lama is one of my main gurus. I've studied with him personally. I have many gurus because I think each guru gives you something. But if you talk about one of my main gurus who gives me a lot, it would be the Dalai Lama. There's also another nun. She's a female monk, so she's a nun. She used to be an English lady, and she's written a book called Cave in the Snow.
Okay.
I think that book is a really good book for people to read. So she's another inspiration of mine. But I think that for me, life is the biggest inspiration.
Great. Amazing answer.
Life is the biggest inspiration.
Coming back to the book portion, first of all, I would like to congratulate, and I would like to tell our viewers that we are today hosting an Amazon bestseller, and Ms. Avril Q has written an amazing book. I've gone through it. If you can just tell our viewers a gist of the book and how much value it can add to someone's life, body and soul, please.
Sure. So thank you, Doctor, for endorsing my book. So the book is called You Should Be Scared. And the tagline is How 7 Key Fears Can Change Your Life and Can Set You Free. So how 7 key fears can set you free. Now, fear is the biggest virus.
True.
It is contagious. If one person is scared, they can pass on their fear to the entire room, the entire community, the entire planet. So take COVID, for instance. So there are vaccinations, for COVID, but there is no vaccination against the fear of COVID. And research has proven, even in India, there was a research done, there was a statistics done, and they said 20% of the population in India has been affected by COVID.
Right.
90% of the population has been affected by fear. And what happens with fear, doctor, is that fear, it lowers your immunity. It lowers your cognition. It lowers your focus. It lowers your libido. You can't have relationships. You can't show love, compassion. You lock yourself in a prison of your own making. And you have the key, but you don't want to put the key in the lock and open it because fear is stopping you. Right. So I thought in this pandemic-related, environment, the easiest thing for people to do would be to address their fears. Because once you address fear, it gives you that freedom to move ahead. Whether you're dealing with COVID, whether you're dealing with insecurity, any kind of impediment or hurdle in your life, if you can overcome it, then that is your freedom. Because there is no such state of fearlessness. I disagree with anybody who says that, I'm fearless, or there are people who are fearless. It's not possible, because until you transcend samsara and you become enlightened, then there is no fearlessness. Now, how can I say that with such certainty? I'll tell you a very simple example. If we are both sitting and talking here, if suddenly a wild bear or a wild tiger enters the room and you think that you have transcended fear and you're fearless, what would be your first reaction? If you're fearless and if you have transcended fear, you would not bother. You would continue with the conversation. You would probably pet the tiger, and it's a wild tiger. You would pet the tiger. The tiger would understand your energy. The tiger would sit, probably if you were Lord Shiva. But otherwise, you would be like, forget the interview. You would run for your life, or you would faint.
That's pretty natural. Yeah.
Exactly. So there is no state of fearlessness for us. Right. There is action in spite of fear, which we call courage.
Okay, right. So yeah, I was just wondering if you can give some, some sort of instant quick tips for the viewers that how yoga and meditation can help us keeping ourselves fit. And what I see is like maybe because of the yoga which you are doing, you are looking ageless. So do you think that yoga can help people stay healthy inside out in today's fast-paced life? Because we have so much of fast-paced life, stress, anxiety nowadays all around us. We also know, and you also know it. But do you think that there is a time when we should do yoga, a duration, and there are chances that some people may overdo it? So if you can just give some tips on this, and then we'll move on.
Sure. So I'll answer your question in parts. So number one is, the QundaliniPlus method has 4 protocols. The number one is Kundalini Yoga. The second one is pranayama, breath, which is part of yoga, but we do special breathing patterns. Then we have meditation and energy cleanse, means we cleanse the nadis and the chakras of the body, which you can do with yoga. You can also do it as pranic healing, Reiki, whatever. And the fourth one is we train your brain to act in spite of obstacles, in spite of fear, in spite of feeling less confidence. So when these four methods come together, that's called the KundaliniPlus method. So what I teach people is very simple. Anything that's good for you, if you overdo it, it becomes poison.
Okay.
See, if you like, even healthy chapatis, if
it's like it's like a side effect.
Exactly.
Of a medicine, overdose of a medicine.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like even if the doctor puts you on, say a tablet for 3 days, an antibiotic for 3 days, and you think, no, if I take it for 7 days, it'll be better. It's going to affect your gut. It'll affect your mind. You'll get nausea. So anything, even, even nectar becomes poison if it's given too much. So, for example, I know the other day there is a client of mine, and I told him from the beginning, don't do X plus amount of bhastrikas or X amount plus kapal bhatis. Don't do it, because your blood pressure will go up. Your brain will start getting too activated. Your energy will become too vibrant, and you will start getting splitting headaches. He said, no, I can manage. I will do 3 minutes. I will do 7 minutes. So he's not listening to the teacher. So then he called me back after 2 days, and he's saying, I can't function. I can't. Same thing. Yoga it's a medicine. Don't overdo it.
Right.
Yoga is a medicine for your mind, your body, your emotions. So
Great.
I would tell people the best time to practice yoga would be in the morning around 6:37, or in the evening around 5:36, because after sunset, you should not practice yoga, because your body's circadian rhythm is changing. The body is getting ready to go to sleep, unless you're doing simple yoga nidra, or you're doing yin yoga where you're just relaxing your muscles. If you want to do headstands, handstands, or Surya Namaskar, Hatha yoga, whatever yoga you want to do, Ashtang yoga, Iyengar yoga, any yoga,
Right.
Do it in the morning. Start with 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Start with 20 minutes and always warm up. Always finish, when you start the yoga, always do Surya Namaskar A and B, at least 3 cycles of each.
Right.
Then you go into your breathing patterns. Then
there is a pattern to follow, right?
Yeah, definitely. You can't just jump into it.
You see that whether it is Sachin Tendulkar, whether it's Dhoni, or whether it's Virat, everybody, they need a coach. They know their game, but they still have a coach. They need a trainer to reach their goals and maybe go to the pinnacle. So our viewers would also like to know that, are you only trainers for the celebrities, or are you available for everybody to train them, show them the right way of this yoga, and to attain the positive attitudes, positivity in their body, mind, soul through yoga, pranic healing? So in case people want to connect with you and want to get your guidance as a professional trainer, so where do they look for you?
Okay. So number one is, I think there is no difference between celebrities and between us. I don't have that aura of celebrities or that, craze about celebrities, because I honestly think that they need more help than us, because they are under so much pressure. And they are much more insecure than us, because once you get the number 1 spot, it's very easy.
Yeah.
But to remain at number 1, it's not
so
easy.
easy. Right.
And see, they're always surrounded by people who are feeding off their ego. Haan sir, aap sabse achhe. Haan madam, aapki khubsoorati ka raaz nahi hai.
So they are surrounded by those type of people.
Yeah,
always,
like in India, we call them chamchas, So we are surrounded by those kind of people.
Right.
So, but what you said is right. They are smart people. If a Shah Rukh wants to remain a Shah Rukh, if a Sachin wants to remain a Sachin, or a Virat wants to remain a Virat, they know that they can't look at some webinar once and they think that, God, I got it. They will pay big money to keep a trainer, to keep a yoga coach, a stretching coach, whatever, a life coach like myself. They will keep a coach. Now, what I've done for people is, I want my mission, doctors, to help 1 million people by 2025. Amazing. Now, I know it's a huge number, But I'm saying directly or indirectly, I need to impact 1 million people. Now, some can come for my group classes, which are online. I have a program called Mind Your Mind. I have a KundaliniPlus program. These are easy. It's an investment of some $299 per class.
Great.
Anybody can afford it, or they can go for my higher level programs where I train them.
These things are already there in your website, right?
Already there in my website.
So what we can do is we can always send your website address.
I will send
contact
you the
address.
Yeah,
so we can put it in the YouTube recordings, and it can go to the general public, and they can contact and get the value which are provided.
Absolutely.
So that was amazing, and I really would like to thank you for coming to this show, and you gave such amazing insights about yoga and what you do. And also, before I end this, I wanted to know that like these are the tough times, pandemic times. You are open to online coaching as well. I feel so.
I only do online coaching at the moment, doctor, because
at the privacy of the house and room.
Absolutely, yeah. It's completely confidential. I only do online coaching, or I'm also, working with children. Excellent. So when I work with children, I go to their homes. Now, like tomorrow, I have 2 children I'm working with. So because they are minors, their parents have to be there. Right. So I'm going to Kanakpura Road. So I will travel to meet people, but I don't have it in an open, like I used to do corporates earlier. Corporate, yeah. But now all the corporates are closed. So all my programs are done online, because see, you're working with the energy of a person. You're working with the intellect of a person. You don't need to be physically present with the person.
Right.
Even to do yoga, you don't need to be physically present with the person, as long as you're on video and the person can understand what you're doing.
Right. Excellent. That was amazing, and I really thank you once again for coming to this talk show and enlightening the viewers. And I wish you all the best, and whatever you do, I wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and all the best to you too. And I will be more than happy to help your students anytime.
Thank you so much. So that was Ms. Avril Quadros, and a special talk show on missionmentors.in. Thank you so much.